I don't know why I am wearing this cap. I know. I am wearing this cap in support of Tunde Onokoya and what he is doing with the Chest and the Slum project. That guy is a big man. Big ups to him. But I don't know how this cap looks. I don't know. I refused to look at the mirror when I was asked to. But it sure feels good. Right. So I will record that alongside Sean Martinez representing. When Sean Martinez is such an amazing man. There's no amount of credit you can give that man. I think I have enough respect. Right. So that's what I said. This is the Use Your Head series. Thank you for tuning in. Right? My name is Dada Sholadui, and I host this series. This is a public health knowledge and awareness platform. The idea of this project is to raise public health awareness within and among us about public health matters. So there's been series of short videos that has been coming off this platform, Use Your Head. Over the couple of months, one of the collections that we have done is tagged We Are Just Numbers. The idea of that collection is to show that human variables are spartially distributed around numbers, and these numbers predict humans. Some of the videos that we have shot, if you cast your mind back to them, you will understand this idea was general. You know what I mean? So this is going to be an extended video, and it's going to be a long ride. I'm going to be sharing with you the ideas behind each of those videos in that collection. We Are Just Numbers. The upcoming collections, the current one from my observatory, and many other issues. So grab yourself a popcorn, a big popcorn, lay back, and enjoy the cinema. I'll be right back. The inspiration from this video came from the high level of indiscipline of people. I mean, talking about eating habits, and then the very poor knowledge about obesity that the society circulates, right? And then I think lately, obesity is also becoming to experience stigmatization, and that's where the indiscipline comes in for me, right? The large fraction of people inheriting obesity today was as a result of the mistakes or the carelessness of the older generation who passed this down to this line. So going forward, I think it's something we should address that early or right now. Yeah, really right now. Really right now. And it's with a straight face. Being getting from the early abuse. This particular idea doesn't matter more confrontations. And I naturally will in confrontational abuse. People have come up to me to say, why are you angry? I know I'm best. This is what I do that. It's not like that. But the joy for me is that the message has got you. The video has got you. It's not left for you to now either train yourself or I don't say that. But the body is God. You know what I mean? Right? It's not easy to come out of obesity. That is it. There's so many approaches that people are taking nowadays. This generation that we are, there are a lot of knowledge available. Take advantage of it. People lose weight. Who are they? Like sometimes through my phone, watching my feedback, and I see people say 2 years ago, now 97 kg, 67 kg, 112, now 82. How are you tomorrow? I'm going to take the generation today. Please. So far, so good. The review of these 6 videos will form the first batch of reviews we'll be doing about the We Are Just Numbers collection. So we'll do the second batch subsequently. Now, the 6 videos that were extracted so far, you will find out that all of these topics are cogent issues, and it tells us that we are driving towards our goal of raising awareness and improving public health knowledge. This is what we intend to do, and it looks like we're doing it. That gives me joy. All right? So, all of these videos, I really do hope that it will improve the society. Because I mean, that's what I really want. Improve the society. It will change people's mindsets. You understand? Learning and unlearning and relearning. I mean, that's what human beings do, right? I mean, it is what it is, and this is the Use Your Head series. My name is Dada Sholade. I am your host, and do not forget that. Wow. To me, Kemonacho. To me, Kemonacho. Don't ask me what the meaning of what I'm saying is. Figure out the language yourself. But anyone who can tell me the meaning of what I just said and the language, leave me a comment in the comment section and win yourself a gift. All right. Welcome back to the phase 2 of the review session of the Use Your Head series so far. It's my pleasure to be here. And thank you for joining me again, right? So we're just going to pick it up from where we stopped in the phase 1 thereof. But in the meantime, the Use Your Head series is a public health awareness and knowledge series. There's a collection of short videos titled We Are Just Numbers, right? So the idea of this collection of short videos is to show that human beings are spartially distributed around numbers and are predictable by such, right? Of course, I often say that, and it is what it is. Right, so that being said, there are 12 short videos about different public health topics, and then we had reviewed 6 so far, and then we have 6 to go. All right, so we have reviewed population and population growth, why human beings should control the population of humans, and about what year exactly will this planet be saturated by human beings, and the planet do not have the capacity to take any more human beings. What are we going to do? Already Elon Musk is planning to take 1 billion or 1 million people to space. Well, good luck to the travelers, the ones who are traveling. All right, so that being said, there's also a video about twin birth, talking about the chances, the possibilities of twin birth, the factors that influences twin birth, and the statistics of twinning, right? So there's also another video on Zobo, Karkade. I like that name. Karkade, Soborodo, Red Tea, Sorio. Different names for different folks and different areas. So different geopolitical zones. So we tried to extract the benefits of this hibiscus juice and how it benefits the human health, right? And then there's also a video talking about body mass index, obesity. There's also another video about, what's that? Sanitary pad. Sanitary pad, right? Actually, I know I said that before, but I'm still going to say it again. I have a group of persons who had reached out to me and are passionate about this sanitary part of a thing, right? Because for 101 time, I think sanitary pads should be as free as condom is. Yes, for the record. Again, I'll say it every time. Please forgive me if it's already sounding too much. So, um, I have a group of persons who have reached out to me about wanting to do stuffs for local communities, and with all my heart, all my pleasure, I will support. So I think we should have more people interested in helping locals to improve sexual and reproductive health, personal hygiene, especially for the girl child, right? So that being said, so we'll just pick up from where we stopped the last time, right? And then again, there's a video about rabbits, about the blessedness of rabbits, the magic composition of that meat, and then how we can benefit the human race, right? So I already have a group of persons who are rearing, breeding, packaging, and processing rabbit meat for sale, right? I think I should start doing commercials on the low, because I already have a group of people who had reached out to me who are into rabbit meat processing, and then you don't have to worry. Just leave me a comment in the comment section. I can hook you up to the source. And I also have a group of people who want to reach out to local communities to promote sexual hygiene and reproductive health by issuing out sanitary pad in an attempt to make it as popular as condom is, right? But you know, the glorious, or the most glorious of them all, was the gift of Zobo that I received. So there's a producer of Zobo who packages Zobo in the large scale and maybe small scale too thereof. But it was so lovely. I think I should have just come with a sample. But then, this is not a paid advert. So I have somebody who makes Zobo, and then she delivers across the globe, let me say, not just the country, right? Because it's the global brand. So that being said, if you're making any of these products, you can just leave your product and your service in the comment section. I'll proof them. Right, that being said, so before we continue, remember this cap that I wore in the phase one? I came back with it because Chest in the Slum, I pledge. Yeah, so my solidarity with the Chest in the Slum project, I still have a lot of respect. So I just think that we finish the way we started. So I came back on with the cap. All right. One more thing. Forgive me. I'm watching a little bit of boxing now. A little bit more of boxing. And I think it's beginning to raise my temperament. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the only one that is feeling like that, but it's a very nice sport though, right? The Gibbs King. You're still the king, trust me. But much respect to the undisputed world champion, the undisputed champion of the world. Yeah, Alexandra Usyk. Good job. Big ups. Nice one. All right, so that being said, this is the phase 2 of the review session of the Use Your Head series so far. And we're exclusively reviewing the We Are Just Numbers collection. And I'll be right back. All right, so let's just get straight right into it. Right, so the next video in the We Are Just Numbers collection is about Gary. Gary does not cause eye problem. Tell your mother that she's wrong and your auntie that she's not correct. Instead, Gary promotes weight gain because it is high in calorie and it facilitates obesity for those of una wey get the tendencies. It also detoxifies and aids digestion for those of una wey no dey fit sleep except say una drink garri. Una go like that one. If your garri is not well processed, it can be left with a toxin that is called cyanide. This toxin can affect your respiratory system and your nervous system. So make sure that your groceries are well processed. If you don't have a good plug, ask me. Drink garri. It doesn't cause eye problem, but use your head. What's that thing? Groceries and floating berries, but this time around without the floating berries. Right, so turns out that from time immemorial, the most popular concept or the most popular attribute of garri is the fact that it's been wrongly accused of causing eye problems. Although I think there was a debate way back about if garri was a cause of eye problem, then you should have a larger percentage of the lost generation and the generation X and downward, blind or with one eye problem or the other. But then these are just speculations and they're not provable. But now this is the proof. Garri does not cause eye problem, just as you watched in that video. So let me just establish that clear. Right. That being said, it's very important that you pay attention to the processing of the groceries, right? Because that cyanide is a poisonous chemical, right? But then again, the most debatable characteristic of garri is the fact that it can cause weight gain. But then it's quite relatable because any food that has high calorie has high tendencies of improving or increasing your weight. But a lot of people were shocked when, I think that's the most shocking part of that video, right? The part I stated that it can cause weight gain. And I have a few of my, I don't know, size 2 or size 3. I have a few of my slim friends who are trying to gain weight, and then garri is now their recipe. But then again, I have something to say about garri. Unproven research this time around, please. I think it has a tendency of being addictive because there are quite a number of persons who cannot sleep without taking garri, or who doesn't have smooth digestion of food. I mean, they have to drink garri after eating just so the food can properly digest. That mentality thereof. But then again, unproven research, garri could or can be addictive. When it becomes proven, I will sure bring it to you. Trust me. Right. So it's important that you pay attention to the processing of the garri than the drinking thereof, right? So sometimes you drink some gari and then you feel irritations in your throat, itching, and then maybe your nose thereof, and sometimes you get cough. Those are badly processed. And then that tendency that cyanide was not exclusively extracted from the processing technique could be responsible for that. Those are some of the side effects of this cyanide chemical of a thing, right? So this cyanide can affect your nervous system. It could cripple your central nervous system thereabout and then cause some impediment thereof, right? So the fact that Gary has been over the years misrepresented, the fact that Gary is poorly celebrated or is not getting his feathers or all of his feathers was one of the things that came to mind. And I've had this on the inside of me for a long time because as a growing young man in Nigeria, I went to the boarding school, and time will fail me to overemphasize how much this legendary meal or staple diet saved some of us the years. I mean, if not for Gary, you wouldn't be watching me right now. Only that this is 2024 and a lot of things have changed. Gary is no longer for the poor, it's now for the big boys. All right, so that being said, I'd had it in mind that responsibility is upon me to bring respect and earn the rest of the feathers that this staple food deserves. And this is my one of the many strategies or ways to pay back this legend that has rescued a lot. A lot. All right. So I will at this point want you to pay solidarity, respect to Gary, but then it won't be necessary because you listening to me alone is enough for me to lighten the weight of the what's it called? The debt that I owe this legendary. All right, this legendary staple diet. Right, so that being said, I have a plug, like I said, not just a plug. I have plugs of reliable Gary processing and processors, right? So if by any means you want my contact or you want my plug, leave me a comment in the comment section. I will sure share with you. My honor, please. Have you ever thought about how mosquitoes sees you in the dark and locate your veins? Monsters. Proven and unproven research has shown that these dragons has the capacity to detect carbon dioxide from about 60 feet away, and that's how they locate you. It's not their eyes that is so good, it's their ears or their nose, whatever it is that they use in detecting. As a matter of fact, their eyes can only see traces of black and white, small movements here and there, but amazingly, they can learn from experience. Then they start perceiving your odor on arrival. So if we say, Precious Antolu, take a bath before you go to bed. From here, they start sensing heat secretions and bodily energy, and that's how they locate your veins. Some of you sweat like chimpanzees when you sleep. Well done, mosquito meat. Now, this is the amazing part. And I'm not trying to make a case for these dragons, but when mosquitoes suck blood, it is not personal. Mosquitoes require protein for egg production. That's why it's the females that suck blood and the males feed on nectar. So when mosquitoes suck blood, they risk it all for the sake of the next generation, just as Jesus did for you. But see you no wan take risk. Use your head. All right, so I think the question of how mosquitoes sees in the dark is actually a random and everyday question in the mind of a typical African child, because men, these creatures, traumatize us on this side of the world, right? Because myself, I think in the last 4 weeks, I must have been down with malaria, parasite, disease. About twice thereof, just so I don't over exaggerate. So my point is, growing up or as an adult, at one point or the other, everyone has been troubled about how these creepy, crappy, small creatures identify the vein of human beings or a sleeping human being in the dark. Well, you have your answers. All thanks to me. Don't mention. All right, so I think talking about gratefulness and gratitude, something like that. So this is the video people have been most appreciative of me for. So somebody just wants to thank me for bringing this to light. Or somebody wants to just say, I've been thinking about this thing. I didn't know this. Thank you for bringing it. Yeah, this is that video. Right, so that being said, mosquitoes are not a joke. Do you understand? They, aside from the fact that they can affect any age, they are a public health concern to under fives and pregnant mothers. And it's about the most popular disease of this population of people, I mean under fives and pregnant mothers, nursing mothers, that category, right? Across the globe. And the fact that they could affect pregnancies in some cases, I mean the species of mosquito matters now, is also a big trouble. Some side of Asia don't find it funny. All right, so that being said, why I thought about making this video was because I found a light. I mean, a question in the mind of virtually everybody on the surface of the earth. And I found a light that some persons before me had found, and then somebody needed to blow the trumpet. So here am I. Send me. So I'm just basically being the whistleblower here, and I'm alarming everybody. So understanding that you can culturally manage these organisms, aside from the fact that you can take them out biologically. And I think just about today, I read about a country, Djibouti, importing genetically modified mosquitoes just so they can control the population of mosquitoes in the country. Is that terrible? Right? Because these creatures can, all you need is just one female mosquito to enter into your house, and it can lay eggs everywhere. And in the space of 1 week, you are now looking like the tenant. Ask me, I've been there. Right. And the fact that these creatures can learn from experience is a very tricky one, right? So it's their survival skill and instinct, which makes it, I think, logically difficult to culturally manage. I mean, killing them one by one. So if you kill one by a method, you might necessarily not be able to kill the next one by the same method because of modification and learning, right? So there are a lot of ways to manage these things. And then I think there's another video about mosquito, right? So I think when I get there, I'll talk about that. But for now, these are the ways that mosquitoes spot you in the dark. So if you are going to escape from them in the dark, they are also, human sense idea. So take your bath before you go to bed. Stop wearing perfumes to sleep. Sleep under a mosquito net. Do you understand? Etc. etc. Thank you. I know the gym is good for you, but let me introduce you to a more effective research-proven practice, a way to control and a low-impact activity that increases your cardiovascular health, your mental health, and engages all of your muscles at once. Swimming. According to a Harvard Medical School publication in July 2020, swimming is about the best workout practice. The buoyancy of the water supports your body and removes strains of painful joints by causing fluidity of movement at these joints. In other words, it's the best practice for people with arthritis. Swimming provides a whole body workout and builds full body strength, including the heart and the lungs. 1 hour swimming has been found to burn 30% more calories than 1 hour running, 40% more calories than 1 hour biking. It also improves exercise-induced asthma. So why are you not swimming? And for people like me that have phobia for water, that still don't want to hit the gym, you can help any of us. Hit the comment section. And on a lighter note, stop eating swallow at 10 p.m. Use your head. I don't like swimming. I don't like water. I belong to the 8 out of every 10 Nigerians that do not swim. I belong to the 95% of adult African or blacks who do not swim. I do not like water. Right. So I shouldn't be making this video in the first place. The truth is the truth, and it is what it is. As you saw in that video, there's nothing you can take away from swimming. It's the best workout practice, in all honesty. From the way it aerates your body, each and every cell, each and every tissue, then the organs, then the body as a whole. Then the flexibility it gives, flexibility it gives to your joints. It exercises all of your cells, tissue, organ, and body all at once. I needed to say that with a bass voice. Well, I remember growing up, my kid sister used to call a deep voice, a double voice. So when you kind of thicken your voice, she'll say you are speaking to her with a double voice. All right, so that being said, swimming is the best workout practice. Take it from me to you. If you're not swimming, you should make plans to start swimming. And one more thing. Unproven research, I think after swimming, it should be dancing. Because explain to me why a lot of church going people are physically fit. All up is an hypothesis. I intend to prove it, and I will one day. But I can tell you that you can look around you, you just find out that there's something around that. Because dancing is also one thing that engages all of your body parts almost all at once, as against swimming that engages it definitely all at once, right? So I hope you also know that swimming also engages your mind. It also engages your mental capacity. It sharpens your thinking, so to speak. All right. So, why are you not swimming? As for me and my house, I don't know when I will start swimming. But it's something on my checklist. I am trusting that one day I will check it. But until then, I implore you to start swimming. Right. Thank you. Needs to hear this, but malaria is not a contagious disease. It cannot spread by making contact with a malaria infected person like it's a flu or a cold. You do not contact malaria by sitting next to or kissing a person with malaria. Malaria is not sexually transmitted either. So if you have malaria, it's because you have been exposed to mosquito bite. That's the only way that malaria is transmitted, except in cases where it can be transmitted by transfusing contaminated blood or sharing contaminated needles or syringe. Although women are more susceptible to malaria than men, and the genotype AA is a risk factor according to proven research, malaria is completely curable and treatable. How then do you prevent malaria? Kill the monsters. Kill them all. Keep a clean environment so you can remove the natural habitat of these vectors. Use a mosquito net to prevent yourself from these monsters. Use your head. I chose to include this video because, more embarrassingly, there are still people who think that you can get malaria from eating food. I mean, some type of food, let's say poorly cooked meal or contaminated food. You know what I mean? Quote that. And most embarrassingly, some persons think that malaria is transmitted by contact. I mean, when you make contact with somebody who has malaria. I hear people say it and I'm like, geez, who started this? So for the 735th time, malaria is not sexually transmitted, repeating the video, and you don't get malaria from food. There's only one means of getting malaria. It's from the vector. And those little demons that are in your house cohabiting with you are the only source. I mean, an adult can only get malaria from mosquito bite. So, as I am talking to you right now, I expect you to be at war with these demons. All right, so a couple of weeks back, I was down with malaria. So I, of course, saw a doctor, got some treatment, and I was back on my feet. And I think 4 days later, I was already feeling symptoms of malaria again. Now, it's typical to think, I mean, as an African, that probably maybe the medications didn't work. No. I'll tell you what. My house is heavily infested with mosquitoes. So they can give it back to me as frequently as I treat it, except I remove the vectors. Do you understand? And just as the video said, remove the vector itself, kill the mosquitoes. You understand? Or you remove the environment that makes the mosquito breed. Right? So you cut bushes around your house, you remove stagnant water, dirtiness, any dirty environment, heap of stuffs. Let's say you like to keep things together, like shove your clothes, like pack off pots, or arrange some things in some. Try and keep everywhere ventilated more appropriately. I think it's more appropriate to say keep a well ventilated space, right? So because it's in those small corners, right, that these mosquitoes get to breed. So you can remove the environment that is favoring the breeding, right? So those are the ways you can break the chain. So back to my story. The other day, the mosquitoes were all over my house. So I had to buy an insecticide. In fact, I specifically read the captions and I bought the specific one that said quick knockdown because it's a matter of urgency. Yeah, because it's now a matter of urgency. So I needed to treat it as urgent, right? So quick knockdown. So as much as the symptoms of the new malaria now was intensifying in my body, introducing the insecticide to take off the vectors, right, slowed down that, and I got better going forward. So the moral of the story is you can treat malaria 100 times and get malaria 100 times if you don't remove the vectors, right? So I needed to sound this alarm like a town crier, bang, 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 in your ears, you get right? So you can get this and then remove this popular opinion about malaria being transmitted via food, via other means that are not scientific. All right. And then as to the mother to child, I mentioned earlier on that one of the most significant issue with pregnant mothers and under 5 is malaria parasite, right? Reason being that the mother can transmit malaria to the unborn child because this parasite has the ability to cross the placenta plexus, right? But I'm not here for that right now. I'm just trying to say prevent the adult human being from malaria, and then problem solved. Thank you very much. God bless you. I put it to you as an African, if you have to buy all of the food components and ingredients that you eat, you are ashamed. Now that I have your attention, this is not me talking to you about the benefits of having a garden in your home or in your backyard, or about the readily available nutrients and free calories that you will get from eating fresh foods. I mean, some of us grew up in homes where annual budget for soup is less than 10% of what you spend on data usage per month. And I'm serious. Our mothers just find a way to make these things readily available, quick, and swift. A study report shows that 70% of homeowners who plant a garden are between the ages of 35 and 40. I mean, I don't want to attribute this to the reason why younger generations are fragile, but for the sake of the creeping economy that is closing in upon us, which is not likely to get better, plant a garden in your house today. Use your head. This video, just like the other video I said in the part 1 of this review session, has a piece of me in it. And I really think there is not much to say about this video because, one, I really want to keep it a secret. I mean, one of those secrets to wealth creation. And at the same time, I really wish everybody knows and practice it. Because you see, I can really imagine how much planting a garden in every household will save the nuclear families. I mean, considering today's current economy. And I'm not even talking to you about economical benefits right now. Right? Now, environmentally, we are trying to promote a green environment. This is one way you can help us if you don't want to help yourself. Right? Talk about the fact that it makes it easy. Now, economically, from the point of view that it saves you a direct cost of not buying these things, it saves you the indirect cost of transporting to buy these things. You know, the memory of the kind of house I grew up in cannot leave me. And I grew up day in, day out to appreciate it. We don't cook lunch. I really can't remember how many times lunch was cooked in my house. No. My mom took her time to set up a garden in the house. In fact, the garden was not just for the house. I think it was more or less for the society thereabout, because I can remember neighbors come from nearby to pluck one or two. Right. And then the fact that you can go into the garden, pluck off some vegetables, and make some soup for yourself is a problem solved. So again, indirectly, it reduces the stress on parenting, so to say, if you permit me. You know what I mean. So, but this is already making me speak too seriously. But it's because I really do wish that everybody practices this. Because as an African, you have to till the soil. You just have to. I mean, there's the land. What are you doing? Right? And then I hear people say Indomie generation and all that, right? Well, that's something else for another day. But then, plant a garden in your house today. Don't disgrace me. Thank you. Unena, I know that you are pregnant. I know that the last time you visited antenatals, your doctor said that you should increase food and fruit intakes and eat plenty of vegetables. I know. Trust me, I'm on your side. But don't kill yourself. There are food and fruits that you should avoid at each stage of your pregnancy. In the first trimester, don't eat pineapples. Pineapples have an enzyme called bromelain. It's been implicated in uterine bleeding and heavy menstruation, so it can dilate your cervix. So avoid pineapples, avoid unripe papaya, avoid grapes. Now that we have settled fruits, do not eat anything, food, fruit, vegetables, raw. Don't eat raw meat like Clifford Orji. Don't eat raw fish. Don't eat fishes that are high in mercury. Don't eat raw vegetables. Help us to preserve the health of the next generation of humans that you are carrying in your womb. Help us. Please. Thank you. Use your head. Okay, so why did I make this video? Well, the answer will be that it's for a peculiar group of persons. You know, pregnant people are special people in every way you can think about it, right? A person, the same human being, is two different persons when she's pregnant and when she's not, in terms of a lot of things. I leave the balance to myself. And for those of you that understand, you're responsible for what you understand. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, I made this video for a peculiar set of persons. And then to start with, I think that in 2024, we shouldn't still be talking about pregnant people should not smoke, pregnant people should not drink alcohol, and all that. By now, I believe that we all understood that part. All right, so that being said, then about the eating and drinking habits. I was so happy about this video because in the layout, it seems to be well structured. And what do I mean? You know, it kind of addressed the fruits, and then the vegetables, and then the food, right? So this is what I would like to say. In the course of this review or the making of this collection, I mean, we are just numbers collection. Two things have been outstanding as a don't for pregnant people, especially in the first trimester. Pineapples, because of the enzyme, and zobo. Of course, pineapple is also an ingredient to make zobo, I believe so, right? And one thing these two things have in common is the ability to dilactate the cervix. So because in the first trimester, it's one thing that medicine is trying to prevent. Because once you're pregnant, the cervix is expected to close and remain so until the day of delivery. So anything that will cause the cervix to open prematurely is a no, right? And all of these things, drinking, smoking, alcohol intake, and zobo drinking and stuff like that, will probably implicate dilactation. Right, so I will also want to mention that any other thing in terms of drugs and drugs basically this time around, be sure that it doesn't have a side effect to dilactate, just so the cervix does not have to be opened. Right. Well, so that being said, pineapple, I think pineapple is the king of all fruits. I don't know. My opinion, before you come for me, because people say a lot of things. I hear egusi soup is the king of soups, vegetables is the right. Me, everybody goes down. I'm the king. All right, so that being said, it's important that you also register for antenatals in your first trimester. You know, the largest clinic, I think, in every hospital is the O&G clinic. That's the clinic for pregnant people. So it's a very peculiar clinic. And then you have to repeat this thing over and over and over and over and over again, just so they can hear. You understand? If you know, you know. Now that we have come to the end of this review session, I want to believe that it's a worthwhile time. And thank you for joining with me. Thank you for learning with me. Thank you for traveling with me. This is not the end of the Use Your Head series. This is just the end of the We Are Just Numbers collection. There are other collections of videos that are running and are going to run in the Use Your Head series. From My Observatory is a collection of video that is portraying my opinion on scientific matters, right? It's not as serious as it sounds. Trust me, it's not. I also don't feel that serious. But anyways, the videos are in this channel. You can scroll through the playlist section and find this collection of video. We Are Just Numbers is a 3-month long series that ran from February 2024, March 2024, April 2024. And this is the end of the review of the videos in the We Are Just Numbers series. Right. Good. I'll be reading the comments and I'll respond to you accordingly. Right? Any of the social media handles or accounts you find on this channel are also real time. You know what I mean? All right, so that being said, From My Observatory is running. You can check it. And then thank you for your love, your patience, your likes, your comments, your subscription. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do. Right. And thank you for reaching out to us, for your support. My name is Dada Sholadui. And once again, to me, Kenoacho. Peace.